A CGI raccoon voiced by Bradley Cooper yanking on the heartstrings. Never thought I'd say that. What's happening, film friends? Dave the Film Junkie here, bringing you a film review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Not like I need to say anything more about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. It's directed by James Gunn, his last go at it, his last Marvel movie, at least for right now. Headed over to DC. But yes, we're wrapping up this trilogy. We've been, Guardians of the Galaxy has just been one of those like, wow, this is actually a thing. Back in 2014, we got that first trailer and everybody's going, okay, we might have something here. So I did not really like the last one that much. I think I've only watched it maybe twice. First one I've watched numerous times. When it comes to this one, well, I'm going to talk about it right now. What did I think of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? I rather enjoyed this. Let's go down the list. What really drives this movie, of course, is Rocket's story and his backstory. I tell you what, especially the first time we see him as a little critter. And then, of course, the first time he starts to get experimented on and everything, my God, it's just, just really, you hear his first words. And it's just, I'm not going to say what it is, but man, it got me. It got me. That, it's just, it like hits. I mean, like I said in my first reaction review, it gets heavy. These scenes get heavy and they get dark. They get fairly dark too. And I think that's why sometimes they had to let's pull it back, get it back to more happy. And I didn't necessarily always like it when they would bounce back and forth with the flashbacks. I liked some of it because obviously it works within the story, which I won't fully say what it is because it's a little spoilery, but yeah, it was just, I think they were like, all right, reel it back in. You're getting, because he was tiptoeing through that line of man, this could get, you have a cute little furry bunny that has these spider legs strapped to it, and it's got a little muzzle, and it just was like, oh my God, this is pretty sadistical. But, obviously the villain is doing that, which I'll get to the villain in a little bit. But yeah, it gets dark and it gets heavy. And every time they go back to it, you just go, okay, here I go. And, not all the time that it was like, oh my God, but a lot of the times. And yeah, that first time though, really just really got me. Cinematography looked great. Digital cinematography mainly, obviously, when it comes to these movies. They've always been great. I mean, James Gunn and his cinema, and just the way that just showing these details of these locations. One particular location was weird. Like I said, it takes some weird directions too. But I like that it did. This one location was gross. Again, it gets it tiptoes that line of did they have to what did they cut out of this thing? Because it almost seems like they could have cut out some things that, weren't so family friendly, but exactly, it's Guardians of the Galaxy. But all that looked good. And then of course, you have the action. They do have a nice little one shot in the final act that I thought was badass. It's really good. I thought it goes on for a little bit, and there's a lot of things that are happening. The whole group just going at it, and it's pretty damn fantastic. But the action is not anything that we really haven't seen when it comes to that, but it's still very enjoyable. So I thought it all worked out. The VFX, wow, the VFX. Because obviously, again, going back to the whole Rocket story, you get close-ups, you get other animals, you get a lot of things, and I thought the VFX looked pretty damn awesome. I thought they did. I thought it was just to pull off though the fur, the whiskers, and it goes heavy, and you have to have those VFX shots looking really good because you're going for the emotions too, and it's hard to do that when you have these animals. But I thought they handled it pretty well. But yeah, the VFX looked great. I thought some of the obviously there's a lot of VFX all around, but I thought I had no complaints really about the VFX in this movie. Jokes, humor. That was one of the things that when it came to the second one, I thought there was a little too much, especially with emotional beats, and then all of a sudden gets broken by a joke. It does happen here too, which it kind of gets annoying because, when you have the Mantis and Drax stuff, that kind of goes over the top. But what could you do? But not everything worked for me. I know the theater was kind of, laughing at a lot of things, but I wasn't, But that's fine. It didn't take me out of the movie. Like I said, I think all the emotional beats really worked well. So then when those jokes that just, I didn't care about, I didn't mind. The last one, it just felt like it was too much. I think they're a little bit more toned down in this one, but yeah. It was fine. The High Evolutionary. I'm not even going to attempt to say his name. You guys knew who I'm talking about. He was in Peacemaker. He was a pretty sadistical villain because obviously he's doing these experiments. He wants to have a perfect society with perfect beings, and he's got these experiments that are happening. So those are very dark scenes. I mean, especially with Rocket. I mean, there's a couple times, oh God, what they did to Bradley Cooper's voice to make it lighter, it's just at first I was like, oh boy, that's I don't know how that's gonna sound, but then you just like you feel sad because he's still trying. Anyways, but I thought the villain, the High Evolutionary, a little over the top sometimes. It was a little, but I think for the most part, pretty damn decent villain. Better than most, I would say, in the MCU, but got a little over the top at times. But then you realize, wow, this guy's pretty crazy. And there is something that happens at the end that I am surprised they showed. I was going, oh, that got, wow. Okay, Multiverse of Madness got away with some graphic shit. Look at that. I did not like Adam Warlock. I thought could have easily kept him out of the whole thing. I was not a fan. I thought, why? Why do we even need this guy? Okay, you got some cool moments. Not really, though. You're gold. Okay. I mean, we get a little preview of maybe James Gunn, Superman Legacy with all the flying stuff. Yeah, sure. I'll give you that. But I thought I could have done without Adam Warlock in this movie, to be honest. Get out of there. Core of the group, Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, Mantis, all those guys. It all works still. They all have a good dynamic. Chris Pratt, he gave some good emotional beats too. I think they all did. I think the little subplot between Quill and Gamora kind of got annoying after a little bit, but you get it because, he still wants her back, so he's still trying for her. And I like the whole aspect of the fact that she's like a Ravager and now she's with them. So she's just like mean all the time. They made her like, but then as the story goes, she starts to feel for these people and realizing I could see why my other self was, taken by these people. Why? Okay, kind of see that. So, but yeah, like I said, the Drax and Mantis stuff kind of gets annoying and everything. But the way that they kind of wrap up these guys' stories, I mean, yeah, it hits you in the feels a little bit too. I was expecting a different way. I think the way that they did end with all this, I didn't fully. I liked it, but not as much as I guess I would hope for. Maybe I got to watch it again now that I know what it is. I thought it would take a different route, but it was still all right. But it was still pretty cool how they did it though. I think I liked how their full circle journey, I guess you could say, was. It wrapped up pretty well. So that's pretty much it, guys. I don't think I really need to do spoilery stuff. I don't really want to talk. I mean, it's not much where it's just going to be, I don't, like I said, it's just the way that it wrapped up. I thought it was perfectly fine. And like I said, everything that had to do with Rocket, I really liked, from present to past. I really, really liked that story. So there's not really much else because, what is there to really tease for the future? But let me know what your thoughts are on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Let me know down below in the balls area. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you know when I'm doing this stuff. I'll be doing, of course, we'll have a Vodka stream tonight talking about the Full Circle Zack Snyder event, so make sure you tune into that, and maybe we'll talk a little bit about Guardians. Who knows? A lot happened over last weekend. Anyways, guys, love ya. Talk to you later.